Stop filming the stereo. If a prep den not read it. You can tell whether a prep or not by my quizits on my homepage. If not den you rock. If only you could speak English. If you are den fu q. PZ Willow isn't really a prep. Raven Plaza do de seal promise if you back up a strap. Tom Riddle gave us some clothes and stuff for free. He said he would help us with makeup if he wanted cause he was really into fashion and stuff. He's bisexual. That's my sexual orientation, bisexual. Hagrid kept shooting at us to come back to Hogwarts. Wait, shooting? Since when did Hagrid have a gun? WTF Hagrid? I shouted angrily. Frisk off you fucking bastard. Well anyway Willow came. Hagrid went away angrily. Hey bitch you look kawaii, she said. Yeah but not as kawaii as you. I answered sadly cause Willow's really pretty and everything. Wow great description. She was wearing no you. She had a really nice body with big bobs and everything. I love me some big bobs. She was thin enough to be anorexic. That's not a compliment. So are you going to the concert with Draco? She asked. Yeah. I said happily. I'm gone with Diablo. She answered happily. Gone with Diablo? Well anyway Draco and Diablo came. They were both looking extremely hot and sexy and you could tell they thought we were hot too. We should just rename this fanfic Broken English. Bloody Mart was going to the concert with Dracula. Bloody Mart best character. Dracula used to be called Naval but it turned out that he was kidnapped at birth and his real family were vampires. They died in a car crash. They died a car crash? Naval converted to Satanism and he went goth. What's with his name? Why is he named after a belly button? He was in Slytherin now. He was wearing a black warp t-shirt, black jeans and shoes and black hair with red streaks in it. We call him Dracula now. Well that's cringe. Well anyway we all went to Draco's Black Mercy Benz, Jedit Q's workfic. Haha so funny that his dad Lucian gave him. We did pot, coke and crack. Draco and I made out. We made fun of those stupid frisking preps. We soon got the ... I gapsed. Gaps. Gerard was the sexiest guy ever. He looked even sexier than he did in pics. In Pixies? He had long raven black hair and piercing blue eyes. He was really skinny and he had an amazing ethnic voice. We most to Helena and some other songs. I love me some other songs. Suddenly Gerard pulled off his mask. So did the other members. I gasped. It wasn't Gerard at all. It was an ugly preppy man with no nose and red eyes. Rudolph the red-eyed pedophile. Everyone ran away but me and Draco. Draco and I came. It was ... Voldemort and the Death Dealers. Didn't we have this scene in another chapter? You moronic idiots. He shouted angstily. Take back that gun. Inobi, I told you to kill vampire. Thou have failed. And now ... I shall kill down Draco. No please. We begged sadly but he took out his knife. What? But he has a gun. Suddenly a gothic old man flew in on his broomstick. I don't wanna catch the gothic old man flew. He had long black hair and a loon black bread. Long black is the color of your lungs when you do drugs, kids. He was wearing a black robe that Avril Lavigne on the back. He shotted a spell and Voldemort ran away. It was ... Dumbledore. Top 10 anime plot twists. I stop flamming. If you do denner a frisk and prep. Fangs to Raven for der help and stuff. You rock. Not a prep. Fangs from Usuta. PS Dodoris and Dumbledore swore is cause he trin to be gothic so dear. I woke up the next day in my coffin. I walked out of it. Yug thought she was dead, and put on some black eyeliner, blah blah blah. The night before Draco and I went back to the skull, Jedit skull cause him gothic and I liked it. I liked it too. But not you. Dumbledore chased Voldemort away. We flew there on our brooms. Mine was black and the broom's stuff was blood red. We call that a brush, honey. There was lace all over it. Draco had a black MCR boom. We went back to our rooms and we had you know what to a Linkin Park song. Stop ruining Linkin Park for me. Well anyway, I went down to the Great Hall. There all the walls were painted black and the tables were black too. But you fouled see that there was pink pant underneath the black pant. Panting, panting, panting. And there were posters of poser bands everywhere, like Ashley Simpson and the Backstreet Boys. WTF. I shouted, going to sit next to Bloody Mary and Willow. Bloody Mary was wearing a black leather mini. No. Vampire, Dracula and Draco came. We started to talk about who was sexier, Mikey or Gerard Way or Billy Joe Armstrong. The boys joined in cause they were bi. But aren't half of you dating or something? Who knows? Those guys are so frisking hot. Navel aka Belly Button was saying as suddenly a gothic old man with a black beard and everything came. He was the same one who had chased away Voldemort yesterday. He had normal tan skin but he was wearing white foundation and he had dyed his hair black. I didn't know Dumbledore had a hair, ... Dumbledore question mark 1. We all gasped. WTF. I shouted angrily. I thought he was just wearing that to scare Voldemort. Hello everyone. He said happily. As you can see, I gave the room a makeover. Yeah, do you think about it? Everyone from the poser table in Gryffindor started to cheer. Well, we goths just looked at each other all disgusted and shook our heads. We couldn't believe what a poser he was! Exclamation mark 1. I honestly think you children are the posers. BTW, you can call me Albert. He called as we left to our classes. Turn your caps lock off. What a frisking poser. Draco shouted angrily as we went a transformation. English. English. We were holding hands. Vampire looked really jealous. I could see him crying blood in a gothic way. Jedit, way like Gerard, but I didn't say anything. Neither will I. What is gothic crying? I bet he's having a midlife crisis. Willow shouted. I was so frisking angry. Plaza, stop flaming the story if you do a folk and prepen urgulus okay! Exclamation mark 11 from Nokunim Gong to Delta Men Reviers! Exclamation mark 111. But what if they're signed it? TW even need a poor blood so dear! Exclamation mark 1 Fangs 2 Raven 4 meters to help! Exclamation mark 11. Do you hate Raven or do you love her? All day we sat angrily thinking about Dumbledore. We were so frisking pissed off. Well, I had one thing to look forward to: the MCR concert. It had been postponed, so we could all go. I hate it when things get postponed. Anyway, I went to the common room sadly to cut classes. That implies you're sad about cutting classes. Maybe you are. I wouldn't expect such a thing of you. Draco was being all secretive. I asked what it was and he got all mad me and started crying all hot and angsty. Aren't he sensitive? By guys so hot. How does one cry sexily yet with angst at the same time? No one frisking understands me! Exclamation mark 1 He shouted angrily as his black hair went in his big blue eyes like Billy Joe in Boulevard of Borkin Dreams. So there's a rabbit in his eyes? He was wearing black baggy pants, a black MCR t-shirt and a black dye. My favorite object of clothing is a dye. Accuse me? What about me? I growled. Accuse you of what? By but he grunted. By some butts. You frisking bastard. I moaned. No. Wait. It's not what it frisking looks like. He shouted. What is this conversation? But it was too late. I knew what I heard. I ran to the bathroom angrily, crying. I hate it when people are crying. Draco banged on the door. I whipped and neighed and wept as my bloody eyeliner streamed down my cheeks and made cool tears down my feces like Benji in the video for girls and boys, Raven that is Suar video. And I thought I was bad mentioning other people in my fanfics. I took out a cigarette and started to smoke pot. Don't do drugs, kids. Suddenly Hagrid came. He had apparated. Ah yes, apparating is what I remember from the books. You gave me a frisking shock. I shouted angrily, dropping my pot. WTF do you think you're doing in the girls' room? Only it wasn't just Hagrid. Someone else was with him too. For a second I wanted it to be Tom Riddle or maybe Draco, but it was Dumbledore. Dumbledore and Hagrid, best anime characters. Hey, I need to ask you a question. He said, pulling out his black one-arb Gothic purse. What are you wearing to the concert? You know who MCR are? I gasped. No, I just saw there was a concert that a lot of goths and punks were going to. He said. Anyway, Draco has a surprise for you. I hope it's death. After all, you like death, right? I stayed naughty what you think? Stuff flamin' okay preps exclamation mark 1 fangs 2 raven for der help exclamation mark 1 oh yeah BTW will be on vacation in Transylvania for the next 3 days, so not expect updates. Thank God. All day I wondered what the surprise was. Meanwhile, I popped on a black leather mini. MCR were going to do the concert again, since Voldemort had taken over the last one. I slit my wrists while I moshed to MCR in my bedroom all night, feeling excited. How do you manage to do both simultaneously? Suddenly someone knocked on the door while I was trying on some black clothes and motioning to Fang Yu for the venom. I got all mad and turned it off, but sacredly I hopped inside that it was Draco so we could do it again. What the frisking hell are you doing? I shouted angrily. It was Lupin. Are you gonna come rape me or what? I yelled. I was allowed to say that because Dumbledore had told us all to be careful around him and Snap since he was a pedo. If they're pedos, why are they allowed at the school? No, actually, Jedit, hell, can I plaza borrow some condoms? He growled angrily. Oh boy, getting some condoms. Who are you gonna condemn? Yeah, so you can frisk her 6-year-old girlfriend, huh? I shouted sarcastically. That's spelling. Frisker. He said, gone away. Well anyway, I put on some then I went. Then I gasped dot 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 dot. Snake and Lupin were in the middle of the empty hall, doing it, and Dobby was watching exclamation mark 1. Where did Dobby come from? He shouldn't be here. He's too cute. Oh my god, you ludicrous idiot. They both shouted angrily when they saw me. Dobby ran away crying. They got up, though. Normally I would have been turned on, you've seen guys do it, but both of them were frisking preps. That makes you sound creepy. BTW Snake is mobbed to Gryffindor now. Why so biased towards other houses? WTF, is that why you wanted condoms? I asked sadistically. See, I spelled that, but you didn't spelled correctly, did you? Only you wouldn't give them to me. Lumpkin shouted angrily. Well, you should have told me. I replayed. Are you a replay button or something? You dimwit. Snake began to shoot angrily. He has a gun too? And then I took out my black camera and took a pic of them? Why specify the color? Are you a racist? You could see that they were naked and everything. Well, excuse me. They both shouted angrily. What was that hell about? It used to blackmail you. I snarked. So now next time you see me doing it with my boyfriend, you can't frisking rat me out, or I'll show this to Dumbledore. So frisk off, you bastards. I started to run. They chased me, but I threw my wound at them and they tripped over it. You just pulled off your wound and threw it at them. And it was big enough for them to trip on it? Well anyway, I went outside and there was Vampire, looking extremely frisking hot. WTF, where Draco? I asked him. Oh, he's been a frisking bastard. He told me he wouldn't come. Vampire said, shaking his. Look away, kids. You wanna come with me? To the concert? Then he showed me his flying car. I gasped. It was a black car. He said his dog farter Sirius Black had given it to him. Dog farter, that's a good pun. The license plate on the front stem CR 666 on it. The one Nondo back said Inobi on it. ... I gasped. He spelled my name wrong. We flew to the concert hall. MCR Werther, playing. Vampire and I began to make out, moshing to the music. I gasped, looking at the band. I almost had an orgasm. Gerard was so frisking hot. He began to sing Helena and his such a beautiful voice began to fill the hall. And then, I heard some crying. I turned and saw Draco, crying in a corner. Top 10 saddest anime scenes. AN, frisk you okay? You fox you. It's not my fault if it's spelled wrong, okay, cause that big raven cuz it fuck you preeps exclamation mark 1 psos raven fangs for the help. BTW Transylvania Roxad exclamation mark 1 I even got to go to the castle where Cola was flamed. Later we all went in the skull. Draco was crying in the common room. Draco, are you okay? Question mark I asked in a gothic voice. How do you ask in a gothic voice? No, I am not, you frisking exclamation mark he shouted angrily. He stated to run out of the place in a suicidal way. How do you run out of the place and you know what, who cares? I stated to cry cuz I was afraid he would commit suicide. I hope he does, jeez. It's okay Nobi. Said Vampire comfortably. It'll make him feel better. Oh, so comforting. You mean you'll go frisk him, won't you? Exclamation mark I shouted angrily. That sounds kind of dark in a way. Then I ran to get Draco. Vampire came too. Draco, please come! Exclamation mark he began to cry. Tears of blood came down his pale face. I was so turned on cuz I love sensitive by guys. If a homophone den frisk off, alright then, all homophones leave the area right now. And then we heard some footsteps. Vampire got out his black invincibility coke. Oh man, I love me some black invincibility coke. We both got under it. We saw the janitor Mr. Norris shouting angrily with a flashlight in his hand. Wait. Isn't quote-unquote Mr. Norris a cat? Who's there? Exclamation mark he shouted angrily. Dude, you even got the gender wrong. It's Mrs. Norris. We saw Filth come. That's a better name for him, I won't lie. He went under to invisibility cloak and started to meow loudly. What the hell? Is anyone there? Exclamation mark yelled Mr. Norris. No frisk you preppy little poser son of a frisking bick! Exclamation mark Vampire said under his breast in a disgusted way. Wait, Vampire has bobs? Plot twist. Excuse me. Excuse me WHO stat! Exclamation mark yelled Mr. Norris. Then he heard Filch meow. Filth, is there anyone under the cloak? Exclamation mark he asked. Filth nodded. Filth is a smart human cat thing. An echo maybe? And then Vamp Frenched me. He did it just as Mr. Norris was taking of the cloak! Exclamation mark 1. What da he yelled, but it was too late. cause now we were ruining away from him. Ruin away. And then we saw Draco crying and busting into tears and slitting his wrists outside of the school. Draco exclamation mark, I cried. Are you okay question mark? I guess though. Draco wept. Thought he wasn't okay. We went back to our coffins Frenching each other. I thought we're just Frenching vampire. Draco and I decided to watch Lake Placid, Sears and Daddy Prison on the gothic red bed together. As I was about to put in the video, my eyes rolled up and suddenly I had a vision of something that was happening now. There was a knock on the door and Fug and the Mystery of Magic walked into the school exclamation mark 1. Ooh, the Mystery of Magic. Who the hell are they? Stfu. Creeps, stop flaming. Okay, if you'd not lick it Friskov, I know it's Mr. Norris, it's Raven's fault. Okay exclamation mark 11 use yuk exclamation mark 1 no just kidding Raven you fucking rock creeps suk. All day everyone talked about the misery of magic. Who is that? Well anyway, I woke up the next day. I was in my coffin so I opened the door. I was wearing black lacy leather pajamas. That would be uncomfortable. Then I gasped. Standing in front of me were B, Ludi Mary, Vampire, Diabolo, Draco, Dracula and Willow. I opened my crimson eyes. Willow was wearing oh my god no. Guy yielded as I jumped up. Why the frisk are you all here question mark? Inobi something is really frisked up. Draco said. This fanfiction. Okay but I need to put my frisking clothes on first. I shouted angrily. It's alright. We have to go now and you look kawaii anyway. You're wrong, you're so frisking beautiful. Draco said in a sexy voice. Oh alright. I said smiling. But you have to tell me why you're being all erective. What? Now that's just creepy. Also, wrong you're. I will. He said. So I just put on some black eyeliner, black lipstick and red eyeshadow and white foundation. Then I came. Can't believe they let you put makeup on. We all went outside the great hall and looked in from a window. A frisking prep called Brittany from Gryffindor was standing next to us. She was wearing a pink mini and a Hilary Duff t-shirt, so we put up our middle fingers at her. Inside the great hall we could see Dumbledore, beautiful. Cornelia Fudge was the shouting at Dumbledore. Doris Rumbridge was the 2. Rumbridge? This cannot be exclamation mark, she shouted angrily. The school must be closed exclamation mark. The Bark Lord is planning to kill the students exclamation mark, yelled Cornelia Fudge. The Bark Lord? Is that some kind of edgy dog? You are not fit to be the principal any longer exclamation mark, yelled Rumbridge. You are too old and your Alzheimer's is dangerous. You must retry or Voldemort will kill your students exclamation mark. Very well. Dumbledore said angrily. But we cannot do this. We can't close the school. There is only one person who is capable of killing Voldemort and she is in the school. And her name is in any darkness dementia Ravenway. And everyone booed. Draco, Crab, Goyle, Darkness, Willow, Vampire and B. Ludi Mary looked at each other. I gasped.